Welcome to this edition of the Government News Brief for Thursday, October 27, 2016. In the news, the design for the construction of the Stabroek waterfront is in its final stage. Numeracy and literacy remedial program to be introduced in more schools, and efforts are underway to provide Hinterland youths with leadership training. Stay tuned for the details. Thank you for staying with us. I am Renette Lafleur. Now for the details. The design for the construction of a waterfront at the Stabroek Market is in its final stage and work will soon commence. More in this report.
Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson says the submission on the design of the Stabroek waterfront project will be presented to Minister Jordan on Monday.
We have the designs, we're just finalizing it to see exactly, well, not the design, the concept design, because the detailed design has to be done to final. So therefore, that the scope of works, which we're very ambitious, can match the money available.
Minister Patterson says the project, together with the Stellings, wharf, ports and airstrips development, are funded by the Government of Guyana and the UK's Caribbean Infrastructure Fund, DFID, at an estimated $6.5 billion. The minister added that the works on Bartica Stelling is moving apace.
The works have started already, and the contractors there mobilized. I can't say at the moment what the percentage should be, about 25% completed, at the moment, works continuing. But the contract has been awarded and they have mobilized and they have commenced already.
Patterson says when completed, the Bartica Stelling will boost the township and greatly benefit the residents. Patterson says his ministry is working effortlessly to provide improved infrastructure across Guyana. Delon Sanko for the Government News Brief.
The Remedial teaching program Success Maker is to be introduced in 18 additional primary schools to help improve numeracy and literacy levels. More from Neola Damon.
Building on the earlier success from implementing Success Maker into the innovative laboratories of 70 primary schools across the country, the Ministry of Education is now moving to introduce the Digital Mathematics and Reading program into another 18 new schools. Information and Communication Technology ICT Coordinator within the Ministry of Education, Marcia Thomas, says the software will first be tested.
We have 18 new schools that just got computers under the Turkey project. I know you would have heard of this. And those are the 18 new schools that are going to be introduced to Success Maker next. What we're going to do with these 18 schools is make them a pilot or test the software again, just to make sure that what we say it can do is happening.
Under the Basic Education Access Management Systems BEAMS program, the Success Maker software was originally rolled out in 70 schools during the period 2009 to 2012. It targeted students in grade 1 to 3. Thomas said that based on results, it is clear that the program raises the numeracy and literacy levels among underperforming students, and this is what the ministry is hoping to replicate.
We chose the slow learning students, and it was a systematic. Every day they went to the lab, they spent 30 minutes in the lab, they did the Success Maker numeracy and literacy. We tracked those children over a period of 5 years, from grade 1 to grade 6. I can tell you, the children that we tracked and the schools that worked the system perfectly, we saw K-Wall receiving their first QC under that project. The child went from a slow learner to a QC product. We also saw that happen in Linden, in Wismar, St. Aidan's.
The ministry will also be seeking to have full buy-in of the school management in the implementation of the project this time around, Thomas said.
Our biggest challenge with Success Maker was the maintenance of equipment. It was, schools bought into it. We have schools like Comenius that's still working, St. Angela, Vicelas. I can give you a list of those schools. Once the school management buys into the program works. But you have to get buy-in.
The ministry will target the training of resources personnel to manage and work along with teachers so that the program can be incorporated into the school's timetable. The Success Maker program uses students' answers to identify their needs and assign materials that addresses those needs. It allows for children in the same grade or classroom to work at a different difficulty levels depending on their understanding of the material. Neola Damon for Government News Brief.
Efforts are being made to ensure that young people in the hinterland regions can access the leadership training and other development opportunities like their counterparts on the coastland. More from Isaiah Prophet.
Director of Youth in the Ministry of Education, Melissa Carmichael, says next year the department will be placing stronger emphasis on programs for the hinterland.
It's very difficult for us to get to certain parts of those regions, but we are for 2017, we will be trying very hard to provide the officers that we have in those outlying regions with necessary transportation so that they can do work for us.
Carmichael says that Presidential Advisor on Youth Empowerment, Aubrey Norton, has been making efforts to include hinterland youth in his youth empowerment programs despite the many challenges.
Mr. Aubrey Norton and his team from time to time would go into those areas to take leadership programs, training sessions, to bring out sometimes young people from those regions, and we would do the same thing. So we are reaching them, and they will feel an impact from the Department of Youth.
Ensuring that persons between the ages of 14 to 35 are afforded the opportunity to empower themselves through training is mandated in the National Youth Policy. The policy is structured in a manner that creates a framework for youth development. Isaiah Prophet for the Government News Brief.
The Minister of Business says Guyana will rank higher in the next World Bank Ease of Doing Business report. Delicia Haynes has the details.
The Ministry of Business will be implementing an action plan that would see Guyana improving its ranking as a destination for doing business. Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin says the plan covers almost every area of doing business.
That is part of what we're trying to achieve. We have a committee that is actively engaging in implementing a doing business action plan, which is extremely comprehensive. It involves legislative amendments, upgrades to our national ICT infrastructure, and a number of other very specific indicators that where we have scored badly that we are seeking to address.
Guyana has moved up 16 places on the World Bank report that looks at challenges in doing business in countries assessed. The improved ranking is due to 3 specific areas.
Guyana increased its scores in areas of access to credit, access to electricity, and also in transparency by having more information published on some of our government websites, in particular with respect to registering property.
Increased scores indicate that Guyana continues to strive to be ready to do business with the world. It also helps to create an efficient and sustainable business framework that will eventually boost the local economy. For the Government News Brief, I am Delicia Haynes.
Young people are being encouraged to pursue vocational careers. Today they had a chance to examine some career options and speak with experts. Gabriela Patram reports.
The Guyana Industrial Training Center, GTIC, today hosted a career day to mark its 50th anniversary. It was an opportunity for the training center to showcase some of the skills that young people can acquire at the center. Administrator for the GITC, Dexter Cornett, notes that the training center has graduated some 12,000 students in 7 disciplines over the last 50 years. He says GITC trained persons are in demand.
From time to time, there are companies that call us and ask us to provide them with trainees who have already completed training, and they take them on. Additional to that, when they go and work study during the July-August period, there are a lot of companies that ask them to come back as soon as they finish training, especially for those ones who whatever and perform creditably, perform very well.
Guyana Defense Force Captain Daniel Seram says they are hoping that they can recruit trainees with specialist skills.
Basically, we're here to demonstrate and present ourselves to the students of GITC in the various special skill areas that they could probably be a part of on joining the Guyana Defense Force.
Technical Vocational Education Training Monitor Inspector Mark Roberts says they have been participating at most career days and open days since they are responsible for occupational standards.
The council has been invited to most of the open day and career day training program at all the institutions. And what we do is we display most of the things that we do at the Council of Tibet. One of it is the occupational standards. We develop and we implement occupational standards in all of the institutions in Guyana.
GITC was established in 1966. The center plans to add AC and refrigeration repairs and radio and electronics to its 2017 curriculum. For the Government News Brief, I am Gabriela Patram.
The Ministry of Social Protection collaborated with other organizations to sensitize persons on breast cancer. We have the details in this report. The Ministry of Social Protection, in collaboration with the Organization for Social Health Advancement in Guyana, OSHAG, held a breast cancer sensitization seminar at the National Library today. President of OSHA, Carol Bagot, told Gina that this was important since a number of persons still go to the United States with stages 3 and 4 cancer because of lack of knowledge.
We feel the need to continue to sensitize and educate them in regards to testing. How do you do your breast self-examinations? What do you do when you become of age, when your breast tissue start changing and you feel that lump?
Bagot emphasizes the importance of knowing and not trying to self-medicate and treat yourself at home.
So we want them to understand that you just don't take those lumps lightly. And it's not every lump that you find might be breast cancer.
Oncologist surgeon in the United States of America, Dr. Theophilus Lewis, in his presentation says 1% of breast cancers do occur in males and therefore men should not take it lightly.
Men usually present with breast cancers at a high stage. And the reason why is because there's not a lot of breast tissue for the cancer to grow. So it either grows out of the skin or it goes backwards into their muscle. And both of those constitute a high stage breast cancer.
The seminar was set to create awareness and educate the public on how they can better prevent cancer and how to access cancer treatment if you are diagnosed at the GPHC. First Lady Sandra Granger attended the seminar, which saw representation from both the private and public sectors. There has been a noticeable increase in the number of cancer survivors at the oncology unit of the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation due to government and non-governmental support. Renetta Lafleur for the Government News Brief. Today is World Occupational Therapy Day. The day is observed under the theme Making It Together. Occupational Therapy Day was first observed on October 27, 2010 by the World Federation of Occupational Therapists. It is an opportunity to heighten the visibility of the profession's development work and to promote the activities of occupational therapists locally, nationally, and internationally. Occupational therapists works to help people regain motor skills lost through illnesses or injuries. Thank you to all the therapists out there who are helping people to live a normal life. We have come to the end of today's edition of the Government News Brief. The details of these and other stories can be found on Gina's website. Gina has an active Facebook page and we encourage you to visit and like us so you can be informed as the news unfolds. Do join us again tomorrow for another edition of the Government News Brief. I am Renetta Lafleur, thanking you for watching.